Uh-oh, I forgot my water. I'm gonna need to go get it. Good morning. Welcome to Mindful Movement Mondays with Leah from Clarity with Leah. I'm gonna go grab my water. Hold on. Sorry. And we're back live. How is everybody this morning? So I had not been aware of the fact that it was a holiday. I never know what's going on with that kind of stuff because I homeschool my kids. So nobody can come to class whenever their kids are home. So it's just us. I have no problem with going live on days that are holidays when there's nobody able to actually be here because I'm already going live for you guys. So what's the difference? It's fine. Fine with me. My speaker's not working, so I'm just going to play on the iPad. That's fine. That's fine. Everything is fine. So everybody go ahead and lay down. It's important to start our practice with breath. So let's lay on our backs so that we can alleviate the pressure on our back from sitting. Keeping the knees bent to take pressure out of the lumbar spine as well. Moving hair out of the way. Make sure you have your folded blankets ready to go or towel. And make sure you have a block or something like that. And just start to sink into your breath. Start to become aware of what the breath is doing. We'll take a few moments for that. Take this opportunity also to tune into how your body's feeling in this moment. Notice the places that typically give you some discomfort. Maybe you feel neck and shoulders or hips and back or knees. Whatever normally bothers you, just check in. And then also we'll take this opportunity to notice all the other places in your body that don't give you drama. Take a moment for that too. If you have knee pain, you can notice how you don't have back pain and you don't have shoulder pain. Start to deepen your breath, beginning first with the exhales. Letting them lengthen, kind of linger. And you'll notice as your exhales get longer, your inhales will naturally get deeper. And as we work to complete our breath, our exhale, start to bring in that little pressure in the pelvic floor and the low belly. Feeling that slight engagement as you exhale. This will strengthen your back. This will strengthen those muscles in the low belly, creating more support for your low back. Now let's talk a little bit about our Ujjayi breath. When we practice our breath in yoga class, and I don't touch on this very often, but typically what we want to do is we want to breathe through the back of the throat. As you exhale, you want to almost be making like a Darth Vader sound, like I don't know if you can hear that. You shouldn't be able to hear other people. You can hear your own, but you shouldn't be able to hear anybody else around you, and nobody should be able to hear you doing your Ujjayi breath. But it almost feels like the back of your throat starts to close just a little bit. And you can imagine what it would be like to just create that Darth Vader voice. Or if you want to feel what it would feel like, take a deep inhale, open your mouth and sigh. So it's that kind of fogging up a window feeling. Then close your lips and make that same action through your nose. So let's take a few more rounds of breath, practicing that Ujjayi exhale. Remembering to firm the belly as well. Very good. Now we're going to continue with that breath throughout our practice today. So I will try to remind you, we're going to come up, and you can come up however feels better for you. I like to roll on my side and sit up, but if you like to just rock yourself up, that's fine too. Make sure you inhale on the way up. And we're going to do a little bit of seated practice today. So go ahead and grab your folded blanket or two. If your hips are really tight this morning, you can just go ahead and stack 2 blankets up to sit on. Really elevates the hips, kind of alleviates the pressure and lets the legs fall open a little bit easier. In your easy seated position, doesn't have to look like my easy seated position. Your easy seated position could be more like with your legs out straight. As long as you're sitting up nice and tall. And if it feels like too much pressure on the lumbar spine, you can do these practices lying on your back. Don't hurt yourself. So if even sitting on blankets doesn't help, go ahead and lay back down on your back and just do the moves as best you can from that position. It's possible. So go ahead and find our breath here, placing your hands wherever is comfortable for you. And let's close our eyes and practice the Ujjayi breath again, as well as the firming exhales. Notice how it's different sitting up to feel the firming in your belly. You're not going to have as much movement in the pelvis. It may not feel as comfortable to tighten the low belly as it does lying on your back. Just notice these things. And now we're going to bring our hands to our chest, crossing one hand over the other. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. On your next inhale, open your arms, lift your chest, lift your eyes, look at the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands back towards your chest, switching which one is on top. Inhale, open the chest, lift the eye gaze. And exhale, draw it in. Switch your hands again. Inhale to open. And you can take your chin up just slightly, but let's not go into a deep extension. We're not trying to turn our neck all the way back. Trying to remember to switch hands each time you bring it back into your chest. And this will be our last one. And then go ahead and keep your hands over your heart. And feel for your breath, feel for your heartbeat. Notice how your body feels. Okay, bring your hands down into your lap. Open your eyes. And now we're going to sit up nice and tall, and we're just going to move the head here and the eyes. So inhale. As you exhale, turn your head to one direction and turn your eyes as far in that direction as you can go. So you're really almost trying to look behind you with your eyes, and your chin is coming as close to your shoulder as you can get it. Keep your neck nice and straight. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale to the other side. Taking those eyes and looking as far behind you as you can. Inhale, come back to center. And let's focus on the eye gaze, keeping the gaze straight across the floor or just the lower part of the wall, whatever's right in front of you. And then when you get your neck turned as far as it'll go, then take your eyes as far to the side as you can. Inhaling through center. And exhale to the other side. Inhale through center. We're going to do one more time on each side. Some eye exercise for you, okay? So it's also forcing you to focus with your eyes. And then also exercising the muscles by pressing them from one side to the other. Focusing the eye gaze all the way around. And then looking as far behind you as you can. Inhale. Return to center. And let your eyelids close. Take a moment and notice how that feels. Notice how your neck and shoulders feel and your eyes. On your next inhale, bring your arms back up. Eyes are open. As you exhale, we're going to turn to one side. Take the opposite hand to the opposite shoulder in the same direction. So both hands come the same way. And I was having a class at 9. So hopefully that won't keep happening. Never know what's going to go on around here. Exhaling, taking opposite hand to opposite shoulder and turn. And inhale back to center. You keep your hands level with your shoulders here. Elbows are tucked in. Inhale back to center. Doing some cross body business here. Good for the brain. Good for the brain. And then contacting your body on the opposite side. Oh, so good. We'll make this our last one. And exhale. Inhale back to center. And exhale, relax. Arms come down. So I'm just now remembering that there was something that I was going to talk to my mom's doctor about very specifically. So if she comes while I'm not here, I need to leave a note. So I'm going to do that really quickly. I'm very sorry. We'll go ahead and use this as our pause between our movements. I cannot spell neurologist. So noticing how that feels for you. Noticing how it feels where you were touching your own shoulder. Notice how your shoulders feel from the expansion. Noticing how your neck is feeling. And it's so annoying when this kind of stuff happens while I'm live. But that's how life goes, right? So we just have to learn to roll with it, which is kind of that concept of off the mat that I teach. So, Miss Eileen, the doctor might come. I'm still on live. I'm leaving a note in case I'm not out here to ask about the neurologist. Good morning. Nope. I don't even know. I know nothing. Okay. Now we're going to come to all fours. I apologize for the interruption. As most of you know, I care for my mother, and I have someone who comes and helps me 4 mornings a week. It's very nice of her. I mean, I pay her. It's not like she's doing me. She gets paid, but it's been very helpful. Okay, so we come with our knees generally under our hips and our wrists generally under our shoulders. If you need to take your hands out a little bit farther to alleviate the wrists, or up in front of you just slightly, that can also alleviate some of the pressure on the wrists. Making sure your elbow creases are turned in to face each other. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, draw the navel up towards the spine, close the rib cage, and pull the pubic bone up towards the navel. Really tune into what that feels like. So what that's doing is it's making a long line. Let's see, turn more like this way, maybe you can see. So as you inhale, your back may have a little bit of an extension here. When you exhale and you draw the pubic bone up towards the navel, that's just pulling here. Navel comes up towards the spine, rib cage closes, shoulder blades slide down the back, and then holding this position. So you want your pelvis to stay stable here. And your eye gaze will be towards about the edge of your mat. And then just take your breath into your rib cage. So we'll do a couple rounds of our sunbird to child's pose here. So inhale, lift your head, lift your chest. Exhale, slide it back. Elbows, hips, forehead. Inhale back up, keeping this pelvis stable here. Don't lose that structure, that integrity. And then exhale back down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. And we'll hold here for just a moment. And as usual, finding a child's pose that works for you, we're not going to be here for very long. Inhale to come back up. Get that strong core, lengthen out through the spine. And then we're going to shift our weight into your left hand and your right knee and slide the right hand and the left foot away. Pull up through the navel, get nice and strong, and inhale, lift. Exhale, draw your elbow and your knee together underneath your belly. You're going to find a little bit of flexion in the spine here. And inhale, bring it back out. Take it really slow. Do not lift your hand and your foot above your shoulder and your hip. So everything stays nice and low and in line. Exhaling in. Inhaling up. Exhale in. Inhale up. And hold here. As you exhale, your hand and your foot might lower just a little bit. As you inhale, reach. Exhale, soften. Inhale, reach. And exhale, bring it all the way back down. And bring your hips back over your heels and find a little child's pose. That could be knees apart, hands under forehead, whatever works for you to just rest for a moment and notice how your body feels. Notice how your spine feels. Notice how your hands feel one to the other. Noticing your hips and your legs. And we're going to come back up. Inhale. Exhale, checking in with the integrity of the pelvis here. Shift your weight to your right hand and your left knee. And inhale the left hand and the right foot up. Exhale, draw elbow, knee together. Inhale out. Exhale in. My dogs are going crazy out there. Inhale up. Exhale in. Inhale up. Exhale. One more round. And get to hold. Inhale up. Exhale in. Nice and slow, you guys. Big, deep breaths. Take it really consciously, really mindful, right? That's what we do today. Mindful Monday. Mindful Movement Monday. As you exhale, soften a little bit. Your hand and your foot can lower. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale, soften. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale, soften. Last one. And exhale all the way back down to child's pose. Taking this moment to notice how your body feels, how your spine feels, how the nervous system feels. And then coming back up, we're just going to do a few rounds of our straight sunbird. So getting that nice, strong integrity around your pelvis. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, back, hips over heels. We're going to do 3 of these. That's 1. Exhale, back. That's 2. Inhale up. And exhale back. That's our last one. Small pause here. And we'll come up to standing. Take your time. Inhale on the way up. Very nice. Very nice. Finding your nice strong mountain pose. Gripping into the floor. Maybe you need to take a little bit of space between your feet. That's fine. Whatever feels good and stable. Wiggle your fingers. Soften your knees. Pubic bone lifts just slightly. Shoulders are bouncy. Crown of the head is pulling up, so the chin is slightly tucked. Cast your gaze downward to kind of focus in. And just tune into how your body feels right now. You should be able to feel some flow of energy through you. I always like to point out the hands. You can usually really feel it in your hands, especially all that action of being on our hands and knees. And then to pull into standing, the blood kind of pools in the hands. You can really feel it when you tune in. Okay, now we're going to inhale, float the arms up, out to the side. Keeping them within your peripheral vision here. So your hands you're not trying to extend here. You want to see your hands with your peripheral vision. Look up. Your hands just come up. They don't have to touch. And then exhale, bring them back down. And take your gaze back down. Okay, inhale up. See your hands with your eyes. And then take your eyes up. Not your chin, just your eyes. Exhale down. Inhale up. See the hands all the way. See how far you can extend them and still see them. Exhale down. And we'll pause for just a moment. Notice how your hands feel. Notice how your shoulders feel. Okay, now we're going to do one hand stopping at the halfway point. So inhale, arms come up. They stay together until you get to the halfway point. One hand stops. The other hand's going to go all the way up. As you exhale, the hand that's up is going to stop at that halfway point. Not stop, but pick up the other hand on the way down. Still seeing your hands in your peripheral vision. Switch sides. Exhale down. Inhale back to the first side again. Noticing your hands right there in your peripheral. Exhale down. Other side. And exhale down. One more round. One more time each side. Exhale. Remembering that Ujjayi breath, feeling the exhale in the back of the throat. And then we're going to take a pause. So cast your gaze downward. If you can close your eyes all the way, go ahead. I don't really like to do that while I'm standing up. It makes me dizzy and uncomfortable. Now we're going to practice a little bit of balance. So finding a place on the wall in front of you that's not going to move. We're going to do that same action. And whichever arm comes all the way up, you're going to shift your weight to that side and lift up the other foot. So you don't have to take it all the way off the ground. If you want to stop here with your toe down to kind of help stay supported, that's fine. But if you're feeling balancy today and you want to bring your foot all the way up, go ahead. And also keeping your hands within your peripheral. We'll keep the eye gaze straight ahead though. Okay, on your next inhale, float the arms up. Shift your weight all the way up. Whichever hand comes up, the opposite knee comes up. Exhale, bring it down. All the way down. Inhale. Switch sides. Like there's a string attached to your hand, and when it gets to that halfway point, it pulls the knee up with it. Can you see your hands in your peripheral vision? Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Ooh, let's do one more time each side. This is kind of fun, and it's a unique challenge. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. And exhale down. Pause here. Ooh, that's fun. I know, I'm strange. Noticing how your hands feel, how your feet feel, just generally how your nervous system feels, how your body feels with all that concentration from one side to the other. Now I'm going to turn sideways so we can step into our warrior one feet. Your hips will face the same direction as your feet. The front foot is facing at the 12 o'clock, and the back foot will be somewhere between 11 and 10. And just kind of notice how that feels. So you're not opening your hips. Really keep them straight. It's almost like you just went from standing straight, and then one foot comes forward, and one foot comes back, and that's it. That's it. And it doesn't have to be big. In fact, small is better. Small is better for this practice. Okay, and then, you know what? I'm going to go back to the front. I like it better this way. Hi. Inhale, we're going to bring the arms straight up. Bend the front knee. And exhale, bring it back down. Keep those hands in your peripheral vision. Inhale up. And exhale down. Last one. And we're going to hold. Inhale up. So your arms are up here. Exhale. On your next inhale, taking the inside, so whatever foot is in front, the opposite arm is going to open up to the back. Your hips are going to stay to the front, but your shoulders are going to open up to the side, bringing that hand all the way around behind you and then inhaling all the way back up. Exhale, open. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale, last one. Inhale up. Exhale, float the arms down and step together. We'll take a little pause here. Notice how that feels. Noticing that shoulder. Noticing the legs from one to the other. And then we're going to do the other side. Step the other foot forward, keeping your hips nice and square. Ooh, don't fall down. Whoa. So we're on a train track here with our feet, right? They're not lined up in front of each other like a tightrope. They're next to each other like a train track and just separated. Making sure that your hips are nice and square. Pull in that belly. Ribs are right over the pelvis. And inhale, soften the front knee, float the arms up. And exhale back down. Watching those hands in your peripheral vision. It's working out our eyeballs today. And exhale down. Inhale up. And pause. Inhale here. Exhale, take that inside arm. So it's the other arm out and around. And inhale back up through center. Exhale, open. I think I messed up the breath on the first one of the on the other side. I'm just going to kind of call myself out on that right now. Exhale around. Inhaling up. Exhaling, opening the shoulders. Pelvis stays to the front. It's a little bit of a twist here. And I think this is our last one. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale, float the arms down, peripheral vision, step together. Lots to think about. Ujjayi breath, all the things. Cast your gaze downward and pause. Try to get in as much stillness as you can. Really feeling it when you're focused on being still. You can really feel that interoception, that inner body. Inhale, float the arms up. We're going to hinge at the hips. Exhale, hinge at the hips, soften the knees. Bring your arms out to the side. Take one arm and touch the low back with the back of your hand. Just come halfway down. The other arm stays out at a T. Inhale, press it back up, pressing out through the heels. Switch sides. Exhale, halfway down. The other hand finds your low back, your sacrum, with the back of the hand. Other arm stays out with a T. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Inhaling up. Exhale. Inhaling up. Now both hands are going to come around back. Back of the hands. Inhale up. Rotating through the wrists. So palms come together. Then you're going to spin the hands to rotate so the back of the hands are on the sacrum. And then rotate, spin the hands so the palms of the hands come toward each other. Yeah? This is our last one. Ujjayi breath down. Inhaling up. Exhale, float the hands down. And take a pause. So fun. Come all the way down onto your belly. Take your time. Crunch. All the things crunch on the way down. Sliding your knees back. Slowly lowering down. Protecting your body. Being gentle with yourself. Make sure you got space. Jeez. And what we're going to do here is we're going to spread the hands out. I think I'm on there. Spread the hands out towards the front, the top corners of the mat, and spread the feet out towards the bottom corners of the mat. And then lower the forehead down. And just rest here for a moment. Noticing your exhales in this position is totally different than when we lie on our back. What you want to think about, and you keep your head down. I'm going to lift my head up so I can talk. But what you want to think about is that pubic bone pushing up towards the navel, which will kind of press it down into the mat, towards the earth, which will bring your tailbone to push down into the earth. So as you exhale, you kind of want to press down. And you can inhale, soften a little bit, and then exhale, feel that press down. Inhale, soften. Okay, now we're going to go into our flow. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift a hand and the opposite foot at the same time. So your modification here, if you have a lot of strain in your low back is really not feeling it today, just lift your arm, okay? But we're going to keep them going out into this, big X kind of shape with our body. So on your next inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, lift one arm and the opposite foot. It doesn't matter which one you do first. Exhale, lower down. Feel that press down of the tailbone. Inhale, open, lift, opposite sides. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. And when you are lifting your head, try to think about the back of your neck not going into deep extension. You're not lifting your head up here. So keeping your neck nice and long. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale down. One more time each side. Inhale, lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Take a little pause here. Relax through your body. Let it sink into the ground. And notice how the spine feels. Notice how your back feels. We're about to do another one, and we're going to take everything up at the same time. So notice how your back is feeling right now. If your low back is telling you that's enough, listen. Don't lift your feet again. It's okay. You have to be where you're at and you have to honor yourself. That's part of what we do here. That's why we take these, it's one of the many, many reasons why we take these pauses in between so you can feel what your body is telling you. Because how often does our body tell us things and we don't even listen? So let's listen and let's honor. And if you're feeling nice and strong and sturdy and you want to lift everything at the same time, great, go for it. Let's work it. So on your next inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, lift both feet, both arms, flying squirrel. Exhale all the way back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. 2 more times, and we're going to hold on that last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. And now we'll hold. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, you'll kind of soften a little bit. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, go as high as you can. Flying squirrel. Oh, exhale all the way down. So nice. Let's just roll straight over onto your back from here. Bring your knees up to your chest and find that opposition, that flexion. And it might feel nice to kind of rock here. Maybe rock this way, knees in, knees out. Do what you need to do to honor your spine, honor your body. Send it love and compassion and gratitude. And we'll set our feet down. Bring your arms down by your side. Palms are facing down. Feet are about hip distance or a little bit more. And about 1 foot's length away from your hips. Take a short pause here. Tune into your spine. Listen to your breath. Continue to practice that Ujjayi breath even at these in-between moments. And now we're going to press and lift our hips. As we do that, we're going to float our arms up, and we're going to do that halfway up with one side and all the way back with the other side thing, like we were doing when we were standing. So as you inhale, press and lift the hips, float the arms up. One hand will stay at that halfway point while the other hand goes all the way back. Back of the hand touches the floor. Exhale. That back hand comes up, picks up that other hand, and slowly lower the hips as both hands come down. You follow? Inhale. Other side. Press and lift the hips. This time the other arm stays, and the other arm goes all the way back. Exhale. Bring them down. Remembering it's like they're attached to each other until they get to that midpoint, and then one hand goes back without the other one, and then the other one, when it comes back together, it's like it picks it up. And your hips are just raising and lowering. If you can, tune into that as well. On the way down, you want to kind of feel that slow roll down of the spine. It's hard to concentrate on all these things at one time. So if you're just lifting your hips and moving your arms at the same time, you're doing great. But if you can, on the exhale, when you come down, roll the hips down. Exhale all the way down. We'll take a short pause here. Notice how that feels. And this time we're going to take both arms up all the way back and both arms all the way down. Inhale, press and lift. Press your hips as high as you can. Exhale, float the arms down, roll through the spine. This time it'll feel a little bit easier, hopefully. I got to scoot because too much stuff. All these props. Inhaling, float. Exhale, roll it down. This time we're going to float the arms up overhead and just lay them down. Keep the hips up. As you exhale, your hips may lower a little. As you inhale, press the sternum up towards the chin. Exhale, soften. Shift the weight of your feet from your heels to your toes and your toes to your heels. Notice how that feels different. We're here for several breaths, so just Kind of soften into it. Relax. Stay. I know it starts to feel hard. You might start to shake. That's a good thing. Releasing all that energy. Think about how strong your butt's getting. And one more deep inhale here. Exhale, float the arms back down. Slowly roll the spine down. One vertebrae at a time. Take a little pause here. Notice that back settled right on into the mat, keeping the pubic bone pulling up so the low back is nice and flat to the mat. Bring your feet up off the floor, knees are up. And we're just going to take a little sway here. So rock your knees from side to side and rock your head in the opposite direction. Almost a twist, but kind of just a way to center out, balance out. We're getting ready for Shavasana. Come back into center and bring your knees away and back in towards your chest. Flowing with the breath. And if you want to bring your head up when you bring your knees in, that can sometimes feel really good on the spine. Totally up to you. And then maybe take some pedals of the knees, just whatever you need to do. You got to rock it out, rock it out. We're about to do Shavasana, so taking those last few movements, whatever you need for your practice, maybe you can put a little butterfly leg, whatever you need to do, and then taking your legs out nice and long to the mat. And again, you can always use a cushion underneath your knees. Turn your palms to face up if that's comfortable for you. And settling yourself in to this restful position. I'm going to sit up for a second. I need to be able to talk. And I'm going to leave you today here in Shavasana with these thoughts. See how long you can stay here. Just let the video stop and wait as long as you can before you get up. Maybe you even fall asleep. Wouldn't that be nice? If your body needs rest, take rest. And before I sign off, I just want to say, send some gratitude into your body. Thank you for all that it does for you every day. Your heart beating, your lungs breathing, all the skeletal muscle movements that you're not conscious of, that are just muscle memory, you go through day by day and don't even notice. Just sending thanks, sending love. And part of that is to stay, to rest, showing your body that you love it with slow, mindful movement, and then showing your body thank you by taking rest. Thank you for joining me on the mat today. Thank you for doing something to honor yourself and your body. And stay. I'll see you next week.